Won the toss, deferred to the second half. They're kicking off to Knox Central. Back deep is number 5, Dollar. I think that's number 12 over on the other side. If I picked up the name right, that would be Merida. They did get their quarterback back. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. Tulio Canino, the kicker for Corbin, kicks it through the end zone on the left side. I believe it stayed in bounds, so it will be a touchback. Good kick that time by Tulio as the backs for Knox Central, but cheating up a little close, and he boomed that one right over the head of Merida.
Well, they didn't know where main man got back in town.
Tulio's back, baby.
Yeah, he's been on a little vacation, but he's back tonight, and a very nice kick and good field position here or not good field position here for Knox Central to start the game.
I mentioned the quarterback, Burley Matthew Barger. He's been out for a while. The Diamond kid started out as a quarterback at the beginning of the year. They switched Barger back to quarterback. He'd been out with an injury. Got released on Wednesday by the doctor. He's back. And again, the Gist kid, at number 13, Jonathan Gist, 5'11", 190, the primary ball carrier. They hand it straight up the gut to Gist, and he's stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. No room at all in the middle of that Corbin line. Gain of maybe a half a yard.
Harley Lambert and Kai Jackson in on the stop. And I think you're going to see a lot of that out of Knox Central tonight. I think early on they're going to try to test Corbin to see if they can run the football and eat the clock up and not give Corbin's big play offense a chance.
Gist and Stewart in behind the quarterback. Barger split evenly behind him, 2 tight ends. Give it, take it back through his Gist. Hurdles over, tackle at the line of scrimmage. Short gainer, though, is he going to be knocked down just over the 22, out to the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. Gain of about, let's call it 3, 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Panthers.
Knox Central very big up front, and defensively on the defensive line tonight, I see about the same lineup in there. We got Kaylin Kendall, I think, starting tonight as a senior, number 52, but Lambert and Jesse Lyford and also Dalton Anderson in there on the defensive line for Corbin.
3rd down and 7, 3 wide outs to the right, 1 to the left. Back to throw is Barger, throws it up down the left side. This is a punt almost, slipped out of his hands. A wobbly wounded duck falls harmlessly to the turf at the 40-yard line, and Corbin has held on their first defensive series. Knox Central's going to have to kick it away.
There's a nice play over there by Cody McCarg. It was just a fly pattern. They had man coverage on the outside and tried to run by him, but Cody, right with him. Should have got his head around, but he didn't, but really a pretty good play.
Well, that's an island over there, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on it.
They split that kid wide to the left, and you're all by yourself right over there, and a lot of responsibility. Back deep for Corbin on the punt is Kopic, and that's Kai Jackson on the far side. Kick by Merritt is a bad one. Went off the right side of his foot. It's going to sail out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, maybe the 42. Now they're going to give him the 45, which is, again, 5 yards shy of midfield. So on the Knox Central side of the football field, Corbin's going to take over the first down and 10 on their first series. Excellent field position here, Burley.
It is. The first big break of the game goes to Corbin, David. I'll check that offensive line for you. The tackles are Zach Henson, and Zach Engel. The center's Brady Ferris. At one guard is Andrew Reedy and also Colby Sima, one guard. The wideout is A.J. Moore and Kai Jackson. The running backs are Nance and Kopic.
Nance is there, Jackson in the slot to the right side out there with Moore. Now they bring him in motion. Back 7-9. Quick pitch right side to Kopic. Trying to find his way around the right side. Cuts it up against the defense. There's flags down everywhere. I think they're going to get Corbin for a hold. They threw that one almost on the back of the jersey there of Lucas Henson. Charlie Kirk is the official tonight. Now, Charlie, my understanding, had retired for a while and comes back and fills in for crews when they can't get enough folks in the busy night. And when I guess people on this end are all playing at home, but a very experienced crew out there.
Well, he caught a hold right there, and I believe it was. It looked like Zach got down on the legs, the big tackle for Knox Central. The thing about football and holding, you can hold as long as you're in there tight, but when you're out there isolated, it's hard to get away with it, because there's holding goes on every play, but you can't do it in the open field.
Well, that's a point of spot foul, which happened behind the line of scrimmage, so backs it all the way up to the Corbin 43. First down and a long way to go. Handoff left side, Kopic hit in the backfield and drops. Gist in there on the initial hit for Knox Central. A loss on this play of about 1.5 yards, so 2 plays. Corbin has lost about 19 yards.
Knox Central's got them all up in there, David. If you're at home and trying to imagine this, when Corbin comes to the line of scrimmage, you see 8 or 9 people across almost the line of scrimmage in the box, if you will, and then they've got a free safety deep. Corbin can hit on some big plays here should they get by that initial line of scrimmage.
Reedy splits wide to the left side, Moore to the right side, and like Jackson in the slot to the right. Back to throw is Taylor rolling to his right, trying to set up a screen back to the left side. Dumps it off, got it off to Nance. A block or two. He's got some room. He's at the 50. He may go. He's down the left sideline. He's at the 30, 20. They're chasing him. I don't think they're going to catch him. Nance angles for the goal line. He dives. He's inside the 5, taken down short of the goal line at the 1-yard line. No flags on the play. Screenplay to Brian Nance. My goodness, goes for 56 yards down to the 1-yard line.
It was set up great, David, because, Corbin with Jackson and also Kopic in the game, everybody looking to them. You never think about Corbin's fullback because he doesn't touch the ball very much. He slid out here to the left flat and really some nice blocking upfield for him.
Burley Nance is not your prototypical fullback. He's a tailback that plays fullback.
He's a little leaner
than
your typical one.
Taylor's going to move up under center. 3 backs set in behind him. Fumbled the snap, but got back on it. He backed out there maybe just a touch early, and Taylor falls on it at about the Knox Central 2, so it'll be second down and goal there for Corbin.
The one thing when you get on the goal line, you tell yourself, you can't have a bad play here. Because if we don't have a bad play, we got 4 shots at it. Now we just got 3 because we had a bad play.
Same set, 2 tight ends, 3 backs spread across behind Taylor. They give it off to Kopic right side, dives into the air, angles for the end zone. Did he get in? Corbin says touchdown, but no signal from the official. I think they're going to mark him shy. Yeah, he's not in.
It's hard for us to tell at this vantage point. It's going toward the creek, if you will, but it can't be an inch.
I believe I'd run the center sneak right here.
I think you'll see the quarterback sneak on this play.
But it looks like they're less than a length of the football from the goal line. Third down and goal for Corbin. Taylor moves up under center. Same set, 3 backs behind Taylor. They hand it off. Kopic this time lowers his head, squirts through the hole on the right side. Touchdown, Corbin. Hounds on the board first.
Well, it's a good start for Corbin. And, after the game, although we played Casey County, as a fan, as a football coach, as the other opposing coach, you're going to go back to the Bell game. You're not going to go back to the Casey County game. And we needed something good to happen early, and that's what's taking place.
Well, I'm going to tell you what happened well last week, Coach, and you weren't here, and I know it's been a bit of a talking point for you. We hit 7 of 7 extra points last week. Now, I don't want to put the announcer's jinx on Tulio here, but Cananoo was 7 for 7 last week against Casey. High snap, kick on the way, booms this one right down the middle. He stays perfect. Cananoo drives it through. Corbin on top 7-0, 8:15 to go in the first. We'll step aside and get a little sponsor time in, and we will be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. This is Redhound Football on T107. Back at Campbell Field, Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you. Field side, I just about said court side. It'll be court side before long, but we're still got a ways to go here in the football season. 7-0, Corbin on top, 8:15 to go in the first. Tulio Cananoo has it teed up on the 40, back deep for Knox Central. Number 12, Alec Merida. Number 5, Patrick Dollar. Cananoo kicked it through the end zone last time. 2 guys from Knox Central back a bit deeper now, Coach.
Well, if you've scouted Corbin, you wouldn't expect this.
Now, they went through a number of kickers here early on. Cananoo steps into this one. Low line drive kick's going to bounce towards the end zone again. This time it's going to be fielded at the 1-yard line by Merida. Starts up the left sideline, but he stepped into the end zone as he went back and fielded that, Burley. So that's going to be the second touchback in a row for Cananoo. And I'm going to tell you, in high school football, that's big.
It's huge. Well, what it does, it makes you always on a long field, and you've seen what happened. You shank a punt, even if it had been a good punt, and Corbin had got a modest 10-yard return, he still got good field position. So, yes, it is. It's a very good weapon in high school football.
I'm glad they've kind of turned Cananoo loose. He's been practicing that pooch punt there for the longest time, and now he is he's kind of stepping into it. They're turning him loose. He's had a couple good ones. Barger, the quarterback, he's just been back since Wednesday. Probably not a lot of practice time under his belt. Gist on the back of the eye. They pitch it out to Gist, trying to get around the right side. Fights off the tackler or 2, still on his feet. Sidesteps another one, but he's going to be hit at about the 21-yard line. A lot of fancy dancing there, but didn't get up and down the field very much. Gain of a couple of yards for Gist.
Dylan Adams did a good job. He came up and he really didn't make the play or didn't make the tackle. But what he did is he turned it back into where Corbin's pursuit was coming from the inside. And that's one thing Corbin does very well. They run to the football pretty well. Not a lot of bigger guys out there, leaner, quicker type guys on defense this year.
Gist on the back of the eye. They're going to give it to him as he pounds up the middle of in between tackles, hit and dropped immediately. No room whatsoever as the interior of the Corbin line. Cody Lane was in there, and 65, or is that Lambert?
Also Big Harley Lambert. I really like him as a player, David. I was talking to somebody about him today. I really think he's becoming one of our best football players. He's a nice player. Corbin, a little bit of their own medicine here, if you will, on defense. They're putting everybody up in the box there and going, you're going to have to throw the football.
Burley Lambert, just a sophomore.
Oh, I know. He's a nice player.
He reminds me of the Grigsby kid from a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Barger's going to work out of the shotgun, takes a snap, 3 wide out to the left. Looks like the quarterback draw. He breaks free. He gets by Powers at the 30-35, slides down after picking up the first down at about the 35-yard line. Well, I wasn't expecting that slide. That was the pro football kind of slide. I guess the kid's been injured, and they don't want him to risk injury, but he picked that one up nicely.
I think it was very heady by Knox Central's quarterback. You've been banged up. You know you're down to your third-string quarterback. Why not go ahead? You're not going to break that one because people are there. Why not go ahead and take the slide?
That's the kid that's a really good basketball player as well, Burley. He's a fine athlete.
He had a brother here a few years ago who was a good player as well.
Yes, he did. First down and 10 from the 33 for Knox Central. Corbin on top 7-0. 6:50 to go in the first. Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you. Barger's going to keep himself around the right side. Nice steps a couple tacklers into the secondary, then cut down after a gain of about 6, maybe 7. As he didn't slide that time, he lowered his head and picked up a couple extra yards after the first contact.
Well, we came on a blitz the last 2 times and just missed him. I mean, right at that time we had a dead knockout shot at him and didn't make the tackle.
You know, you worry about, from a Knox Central standpoint, what the fatigue factor will be for this young man because, again, just released from the doctor on Wednesday, you know his conditioning has to be in question.
I think they're going to turn and give it to 13 a lot tonight, David, so I don't think fatigue's going to be a problem for him.
Yeah, that's a good point. 13 is Jonathan Gist, and he's back in the backfield with Barger, flanking him to his left. Now still directing traffic. They've got folks moving everywhere. Take the snap, back to throws Barger, dumps it out underneath. Got his man, going to be caught by Merida, no drops. Intended out there for number 28. I said Merida, that is actually Jeremy Stewart, incomplete. That will bring up 3rd down and about 5 for Knox Central.
Yeah, I don't know what type of injury the Barger kid had, but almost watching him throw, David, looks like he's short-armed it a little bit. Looks like it could be a shoulder, and I don't know that. But that one, he had the guy open, but he didn't go ahead and throw that thing. He just kind of pushed it out there.
Now, you watch Matthew Stafford, and I watched that whole Lions game last week. He throws it kind of sidearm like that, too. But I think he does it on purpose.
You got a cannon.
Yeah, it's worked pretty well for him so far. Barger takes a snap. I don't think they were expecting it. Fires it across the middle. Incomplete. Pass intended out there for big number 85. That is Jeffrey Adams. Adams, another one of those outstanding basketball players on the Knox Central Panther team. But that will bring up 4th and 5. Knox Central's going to have to kick it away.
That time they tried to run a little pick play to the right side over here, and Corbin did a good job. We were in actually in zone coverage, but we had linebacker help this side, and there really wasn't a good lane to throw it in.
Now, Burley, correct me if I'm wrong, but now Scotty Russell did spend some time coaching at Corbin as well, didn't he?
He did.
Jared Hall is the punter. Plenty of time, steps into it, gets away a much better punt this time. High, tight spiral, fair catch called for by Copic. No, he didn't. Actually, he's going to field it. They set up the reverse. They fake it. Copic's got it around the right side. Makes one guy miss up the right sideline. Still on his feet at the 50 into Knox Central territory. 40, tracked down from behind, pushed out of bounds right in front of the Corbin bench. And looks like, no, there's not a flag. Now, I thought there may have been a flag, but it's a great run back that time by Copic. He's all the way down to the 44-yard line of Knox Central.
Well, they fake the reverse, and again, we do that on almost every punt return, and it's with Kai Jackson tonight rather than Taylor Waddle, who's had a bummed-up ankle, who is playing on defense tonight, but I've not seen him offensively.
Let me ask you something, Coach. I saw Taylor at school today. I happened to be down at the high school. He said he was going to play some at senior night. Do you ever run a double reverse on a punt?
I've not seen one, but I'm sure.
I bet Jimmy Roden has.
Oh, I guarantee he has.
Jimmy had more crazy plays in Little League football. I bet it would work. Handoff right side. Copic slams into the line right behind the right side of that Corbin offensive line. Gains about 3, maybe 4 yards. I can remember watching Jimmy's East Ward teams. They would have all those plays, and they'd always score, it seemed like. Take it down in about 7 minutes. Let's call it 8 for Corbin here, working from the Knox Central 42-yard line. Corbin on top 7-0. 5:10 to go here in the first quarter play. Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you. 6-3 Knox Central Panthers into 7-2 Corbin Redhounds going at it here. Handoff right side. Jackson, his first carry of the game, hit and hammered at the line of scrimmage. Stood straight up in the hole and knocked down after maybe a yard gain.
Well, if you go back and you relive this first quarter to this point, David, Corbin not been able to move the ball very well on the ground. We've broken a punt return here. We've got a shank punt and then set up a screen pass, but Yard's very stingy on the ground in there. Or Knox Central's very stingy with giving us yards on the ground.
You're right. It's 3rd down and long now for Corbin. Let's call it 3rd and 8 for the Hounds. Working again from the Knox Central 42. Probably not in 4-down territory here. should they not pick it up. Back to throw is Taylor working out of the gun. Fires across. Goes. Got his man. First down. That's A.J. Moore with the catch inside the 30. Dropped at the 28-yard line. Good catch that time by Moore, but a perfect throw that time from Taylor right across the middle, right in the middle of the field.
Well, what I saw Corey do there that he struggled with a little bit this year, he wants to bail out a lot of times and throw it on a run. That time he sit in there pretty good. And if he'll do that, he's got a good, strong arm. He's just got to be a little more patient.
Well, he stepped in and had some mustard on that one. That had a little zing to it. First down, Corbin now down to the 28-yard line of Knox Central. Clock moving, 4:14 to go in the first quarter of play. 7-0 Corbin lead. Hounds driving again. Working out of the pistol this time is Taylor. He's got Kopic behind him. Movement on the line. Flags come down prior to the snap.
Yeah, Brian Nance was leaning a little bit at the same time that Kai Jackson was in motion.
Yeah, I've never understood why that should be a penalty. I think on your side of the ball, you got to be able to do whatever you want to. Canadian football style.
You can in Canadian if you live in Canada.
Yeah.
Down here on the creek, you can't.
That must be a north of the border rule. First and 15 for Corbin. Backed up now to about the 34-yard line are the Hounds. 3:50 to go in the first. 7-0 lead for the Redhounds. Taylor working out of the shotgun. Empty backfield now. Then there's a direct snap to Jackson. Actually, that was Taylor that motioned out of there. Jackson takes it, starts around the right side, picks up about 4, maybe 5, getting back to the original line of scrimmage. That was the, what they call it when they
Wildcat.
used to run the Wildcat. They ran Ronnie Brown there in Miami, brought that back.
Well, I'll tell you this, they've got a Wildcat running that thing because Kai Jackson does not back down from contact. I mean, he really slapped it up in there.
And I tell you what, to me, he runs like he's mad.
He's a physical football player. He's our most physical football player, in my opinion.
No question. Second down and 10 now for the Hounds. Taylor working out of the pistol. Got Kopic behind him. He's going to hand it off to Kopic right up the middle. He's got a little bit of a hole. Lowers his head, gets it down inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line. Gain of 5 again. So Corbin just chipping away at that first and 15. Got it down now to about a third and very manageable 5 yards.
Well, Corbin needs this. They need to put together some lengthy drives, whether they get in the end zone or not. Naturally, it would be better if they did, but they lost their confidence up there at Bell County a little bit. Wasn't able to really move the football on the ground like they've been able to do this year or traditionally have done over the years.
Yeah, you just wonder how much losing Waddle on that first series messed with their mind a little bit.
I'm sure it had something to do with it.
Taylor moves up under center, gives it off this side to Kopic again, lowers his head, did not pick up the first down, but he's going to be really close. And again, you think Corbin probably in 4-down territory here, Coach?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Looks to be maybe just a touch shy of the first down. They actually gave him a little better spot than I thought they were going to.
William Reedy in there at tight end also tonight. Didn't get him in the original lineup, but Williams played a major role on both sides of the ball this year. I noticed Harrison Reedy not in the lineup tonight. I'm not sure about his injury, but appears that he's still injured. Harrison, a defensive back.
2 minutes to go here in the first. 7-0 Corbin lead. Big fourth down play here. Handoff right side. Kopic hurdles a tackle at the line of scrimmage. First down easily as he gets down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. When Corbin has to have it, Burley, they're very much a right-handed football team, aren't they?
There's no question about that. And they have been for many a year. But what we're doing here is you go back to the games that we won and everybody got excited about Corbin's team this year. We were taking that thing and, boy, we're going boom, 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 boom. That's what we're doing here again tonight. Now, what happens off that is you give some of the guys, Jackson, A.J. Moore, William Reedy, some of those guys a chance to make a big play. So, this is good to see.
Taylor moves up under center this time on first down and 10. Spins, leaves it off left side. This is going to be Jackson hit in the backfield. Going to be drugged down, lost on the play. I tell you, it wasn't for lack of effort, but Kai could absolutely not get away. His forward progress is probably going to be marked down about the 17-yard line, but a loss of about 5 on the play.
Yeah, that's just a breakdown in blocking. That's jailbreak. They came from everywhere. Nothing Kai did wrong on that.
I think you're exactly right, Coach. I think he ran right into the teeth of a blitz off that left side. Second down and about, they're calling it 14 on the board, I think. Taylor back to throw, winds up, got a man in the end zone, fired for Moore. It's out there, diving attempt, no good, off his fingertips in the end zone. Well thrown ball, though, by Taylor. Moore had a shot at it in the corner of the end zone, just off his fingertips, incomplete.
Just a little bit overthrown, and that goes back to that was the power pass where they faked the power to Jake that we've been getting some yards on, and then A.J. beat his man there, just a little bit overthrown by Corey.
Third down at about 14, working from the 17-yard line. 47 seconds to go. Your clock stopped on the incomplete pass. I don't know if Corbin's in Cannonew's field goal range from here or not, but they might be. Only about 15 yards longer than an extra point. Back to throws. Taylor sets up, fires off in the right flat. Incomplete. That's just a bit too tall that time. Intended for more again. So decision time for the Redhounds on 4th and 13.
I think they're going to kick it.
Well, it's a 34-yard field goal attempt from right here. So we'll see what happens. It would sure be a boost. And here comes Cannoneau. He's coming out, as is the holder Jackson Stewart. I think Stewart took the place of Taylor Waddle. Is that correct on the holding?
Yes. Well, I mean, here's something you got to find out about your team, too. Like I say, you're trying to win this game without question. But, going down the road here, can we kick a field goal?
Now, Waddle was the holder, correct?
He was.
Okay, so Stewart, a new holder. And Stewart was the holder last week as well. So Cannonew's got to have a little confidence going right now. He has hit 8 straight extra points. We'll place this one down at about the 23, so a 33-yard field goal attempt. Here's a snap, goes through the hands of Stewart. Cannonew's going to fall on it, and he will be touched down at the 25, where Knox Central will get the football back. A bit of a high snap, but we saw Stewart handle a couple of those last week. That one just shot through his hands, and Cannoneau does not get an attempt.
You got to field that one, though. And Terry Green, our good friend, was one of the best I ever seen at that. If it skips, you got to field it. You got to get it on the tee. If it's high, you got to get it down. It's unfair. But that's what the job calls for.
Yeah, you're right. That's the job description, isn't it?
That's it.
Catch it and get it down. Well, a good drive for Corbin. Does not yield any points, but they did hog the football, as Coach said earlier. 37 seconds to go in the first quarter. 7-0 lead here for the Redhounds. Barger back out on the field with the Panthers. Gist flanking him to the left. Wide out to the left, one to the right. They give it to Gist. He is hit and dropped immediately. No room whatsoever for Big Gist.
And if you look at Corbin's defensive line, they're going to make Knox Central throw the football. They had them all up in there. I mean, everybody, even Meathead and Chick Hire, looked like they was up in there too.
5'11", 190. He's a good-sized kid. That's going to be the last play of the first quarter, I believe. Knox Central heading to the sidelines. 10 seconds and counting down here on the scoreboard, so we'll break as well. Corbin leads it after one quarter, 7-0. We'll be back with one in the books. Hounds on top. Stay with us. This is Redhound football on T107. A very physical football game here from Campbell Field. Coach, is this about what you expected?
It is, and I think the key here going into the second quarter will be Coach Scotty Russell. Will he be patient enough to keep trying to bang this thing out and not try to get a little fancy and maybe give up a bad play where Corbin can make something happen on defense? And I think if you're Scotty Russell and you end the first quarter at 7-0, naturally he's going to tell the newspapers and us, no, I'm not satisfied with that. But if you go back to this, really only a couple big plays has hurt him. He's got to feel good about, the position he's in to win the football game.
A 57-yard screen pass to Nance is the difference in that first quarter. That's really the only play of any substance for either team. Barger operating out of the shotgun. Gist flanking him to his left on the second down and about 7 for Knox Central. Corbin showing blitz, and here they come. Barger dumps it off underneath. Got Gist. Makes one guy miss. He's got some room. 30, 35, 40 up the left sideline. Hit. Driven out of bounds. Out near the 44-yard line. A really good play by the quarterback, Burley. He saw the blitz coming from the left side. Found his man on the left side in the flat, and Gist made it happen from there. A little bit of a extracurricular activity there after the play.
Yeah, really, it could have been a penalty on the Knox Central kid, and, not picking on either team about that. But, Gist makes a good play here, and he's 30 yards behind the ball. Comes over here and makes a block. You just don't want to do that. Well, you don't hurt your team.
And to further your point, their coach didn't like it either. Their coach lit their kid up for that.
And good for them, because it's just going to hurt your team.
Yeah, he pointed that out to him. A little more stronger than you did, Coach. Corbin showing blitz again, handoff. Gist hit in the backfield and dropped. Hanging on to him by a shoestring was Lambert. Powers in there as well.
Well, I got to tell you, man, you're talking about bringing the house. Corbin's bringing them all. I mean, we're man coverage out here on the outside, and, we're coming.
Yeah, I think you may be right, Coach. They're going to make Knox Central throw the football, and that doesn't mean that Gist won't break a tackle or two and get into the secondary. If he does, it's going to be lights out maybe because there's nobody left back there. Right now, Lambert and Cody Lane and Henson and those big guys up front, Zach King, they're kind of holding their own. We've got a whistle and a timeout taken by Knox Central. The Panthers want to talk things over. 10:50 to go here in the first half of play. 7-0 Corbin on top. We'll take a break and be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. You're listening to Redhound Football on T107. Corbin on top 7-0. 10:50 to go in the first half of play. Dave Knox and Burley Foley with you. Burley, a beautiful night for football. Again, blessed with perfect weather.
Oh, it's really nice. And a decent crowd on hand, David, for this game not to have any implications other than the record. And Corbin, both teams want to win because they want to go into the playoffs with momentum.
Now, 13-5 combined record between these two teams, so you got two good high school football teams going at it here tonight. And it's been that way thus far. Corbin jumps off sides, gets a good job of. Looked like he changed his cadence, kind of bumps his shoulders just a little bit too, and gets the free 5 yards out of the Redhound defense. They had numerous people jump off that time.
I think that's why Scotty took the timeout. I think he's seen all the blitzes that's coming at him. He's going to try to be creative here to try to find ways to slow him down. Change your cadence up a little bit. Do a screen pass out of here. You got to do something to make Corbin back out there.
And off straight up the gut this time. This is going to be Stuart Lords' head. He's into the secondary, down inside the 40 to 38-yard line. Tackled back there by Taylor Waddle, but Waddle took a pretty good shot, and that's plenty enough for the first down. And Stewart picks up about 16 right up the gut.
Well, at that time, again, fullback. We got to count for the fullback. We came off the corner and gave it to him in the middle of the line. And what's dangerous about putting everybody in the box, if you miss, it could be a score.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. Gist to Lords' head. He runs into a pile of Redhounds. Harley Lambert there to greet him right at the line. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for Knox Central.
Reedy Lambert and also Jesse Lyford in on the stop. Cody Lane's made some plays up there tonight. Kai Jackson. Tanner Powers in there is one of the linebackers. In the secondary is Dylan Adams, Cody McCarg, and Taylor Waddle.
Austin O'Neill on the far side.
Yeah, Austin O'Neill over there on the left corner.
Yeah, his shoulders turned, just couldn't see his number. Take it down in 10. Barger moves up under center this time. 2 tight ends, 3 backs set in behind him. Little movement on the line. And Barger thought it was a broken play, dumps it out underneath, got his receiver on the right side, hit and dropped. Over there is Jeffrey Adams, But that was a strange play because Barger thought his bunch had jumped off sides. It almost spiked the football, Burley.
Well, what happened was the center snapped it before everybody else. The center went, he snapped it to Barger, and then everybody went. So, it turned out decent, but it could have been horrific.
Yeah, he ended up picking up a yard on the play was all. But, boy, I thought he was going to spike that football. Or a lot of times you'll see the quarterback just go ahead and flip to the official.
He looked surprised, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't. That wasn't what it was on. Barger working out of the gun, back to throw. Looks like he wants to run it himself, starts around the left side. He's trying to get around the corner, and he does. He's at the 35, dives down to near the 30-yard line. He had to make the 29. I don't think he's going to have the first down, but he is close enough. Or Knox Central probably will be going for it here on 4th down.
Oh, I think they'll go without question. Nice little heady move by Barger that time. You can tell the kid's hurt. I mean, sometimes you hear about injuries and you see kids play and you can't tell it at all. But you can tell this kid's hurt in the way he's moving around out there. But he made a nice little shifty move there on Tanner Powers to go ahead and pick up 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, this kid's an athlete. I remember him playing basketball. Really a tough guy to guard on the basketball floor. Played point guard for them. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he even played quite a bit as an 8th grader. Knox Central going for it on 4th down and about 3 here. Barger takes it, straight keeper, lowers his head, did not get it. He dives for it. He needed to make about 3 yards. Looked like he might have got 2. It's going to take a great spot if the Panthers are going to pick it up, and I don't believe he got there. And the Panthers have a player down, slowly getting up one of their linemen here. He's going to be okay, though. But, they say first down. I apologize. He did pick it up.
Wow. I didn't think he had it either.
No, I did not. And, again, that teaches me to wait for the officials. But
he showed a little burst of quickness right there.
Yeah, he did. He got up in the hole quickly. Maybe that's what threw me. Either that or I just don't see very well. Probably a little above. So a nice drive here for Knox Central. And they are going to have to replace that injured lineman. I can't tell you, his number's kind of scrunched up on him there. One of the bigs up front's going to, maybe if he turns around, it looks like an ankle. He is coming off the field under his own power, but he's in a bit of distress right now. 2 tight ends, 1 wide out to the left side is Adams. 3 backs in behind the quarterback. Barger spins, leaves it off with Stewart trying to get around the left side. Stiff arms attacker, gets down to the 25-yard line. Gain of maybe 3. good tackle by Adams.
That's what Dillon's pretty bright about. You know, you can't come tackle those backs up in here. He got down on them legs and put him on the ground.
And for Knox Central, that is the big number 69. He is Alex Sprinkles.
He's a hoss is what he is.
Yeah, they don't have his weight listed. He's listed at 5'9", but he's a good-sized kid. Good-looking player. Take it down at about 7 for Knox Central. 7:30 to go here in the first half of play. Corbin on top, 7-0. Barger back to throw. Here comes the blitz. Fires it out right side, incomplete. He took a pretty good shot that time from Lambert, and he is down. Barger, that is. He's slowly getting up, but I'm going to tell you, Lambert unloaded on him.
I don't know if he's going to hold up, David, if they continue to do this. And here's what's really hurting him right now. You can tell he had the guy open out there, but he just don't have the strength right now. It looks like to get it out there.
You know, and again, it would be nice to know from our standpoint, and we probably should know that if I'd done my research, but what kind of injury he had. But it does look like it might be some kind of a throwing injury because he's had some open receivers, and I know he's a good enough athlete to get the ball to him on a normal basis.
He's a gritty kid, I can tell you that.
Third down and 8. Barger out of the gun. Here comes the blitz. 4 people after him. He's in a bit of trouble. Going to be drugged down. Threw the football and got it away. They're going to call it incomplete, but just a great offensive play by Barger just to get rid of it. But Corbin sent 4 people after him that time, and didn't look like any of them got blocked, Burley.
Well, it was a screen pass. And what he did is he bailed out there. And you know, to run a screen, you got to let your guy go, but you got to go ahead and chip him a little bit to slow him down, then let him come. Hey, they didn't block anybody.
No, that was a tough one on them there. 4th down and 8 now for Knox Central, working from the Corbin 25-yard line. So Corbin squandered an opportunity down in Knox Central territory moments ago, and it looks as if Knox Central, they can't come up with a big play here. They may do the same thing. 2 wide outs to both sides. Gist in the backfield with Barger. Barger takes the snap. Here comes everybody. In trouble again. This time he gets out of it. No, he's going to be hit and tripped up. Jackson got him by the shoelace back at the 40-yard line, and just nowhere for Barger to go. He's running for his life as soon as he takes the snap. Corbin will take over on down. In good field position, Burley, at the 40-yard, right or near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, you know, again, that appeared it might be a screen, but I don't think so. I just don't think they blocked anybody.
Barger is he's either very tired or I'm not sure that he's not shaken up a bit. He's over on the bench sitting down, but
I think what we're seeing with this, I think Corbin's quickness is starting to bother Knox Central a little bit. Knox Central bigger and look to be stronger, but we're much quicker.
Well, here's the thing, Corbin, even though a really good first half, here's a handoff to Kopic. He's going to lose 2 or 3 yards because that left side. It's still just a 7-0 lead. 7 minutes to go here in the first half, and you know if you're just watching the game, Burley, not the scoreboard, you'd think Corbin's up 3 touchdowns.
You would, and like you say, it's 7-0 lead with Corbin, and they got that on one big play from Brian Nance on the screen pass. But I guess the thing is, if I'm Corbin's staff over there right now, not able to move the football just yet. You know, we broke some of these earlier in the year, not breaking them right now.
Taylor's going to work out of the pistol this time. He's got Kopic on the back of the formation right behind him. Now they motion Jackson out of there. Flags come down. Corbin may have had a couple people moving. I'm not sure.
It's going to be motion, but I tell you what I don't get, unless it was a lineman. That's not, well.
Illegal procedure. Yeah, that flag normally doesn't come down from there on illegal procedures. It's usually one of the side judges. That was from the back judge. You're right. That's like went over the Knox Central line.
I'll tell you what. Is the cannon here tonight?
Oh yes, went off twice.
Okay.
Maybe it's the first game. As a matter of fact, the second one had a really good charge to it. I think Shaky may got a little extra in that one. 7-0. Corbin on top. 6:22 to go in the half. Take it down in 15 for Corbin. Here's the end around to Reedy, trying to get around the left side. Sidesteps a tackler on the backfield, and he is going to be stacked up and driven to the turf at the 30. Pretty good job by Reedy just getting back to the line of scrimmage, and so little trickeration there doesn't work for Corbin. 3rd down and nearly 20 for the Hounds.
Nothing wrong with Knox Central's defense right now. They're just getting after us up front, David.
I tell you, 44 is the kid that I want to point out. Hunter McWright, 6 feet 6'1". They don't have a weight listed for him. This kid's all over the field. He's been in on almost every tackle.
Nice-looking player. Knox Central's always had good-looking kids. They have big kids, big, strong-looking kids.
Now this kid's a player. He's a left defensive tackle, and he's a He's a brute. We've not blocked him yet. Taylor takes the snap, working out of the gun, steps up, fires long down the left side. He's got picked off. Picked off up the right side. That's going to be taken by a Knox Central defensive back, number 12, I believe. That's Merida. Grabs it at the Corbin 40, takes it back inside the 30, cut down at about the 27-yard line. Merida with the pick. Good field position once again for Knox Central. This time, though, Burley, they come out 1st and 10 with a little bit of momentum.
That's just a bad throw, David. We didn't have anybody there. I mean, you can look at it and write it up however you want to, but it is just a bad throw.
Well, this Corbin defense being called on again, trying to hold on to this 7-0 lead. 5:25 to go in the half. Plenty of time left here for Knox Central. Hey, one thing that one thing I've liked about this game thus far is been minimal penalties.
Yeah, not a lot. Letting them play, letting the kids decide the game.
Yeah. We got something going on here, Coach. I don't mean to interrupt you, but was there a flag or was there a timeout? I don't know. The officials are huddled up back at the 40-yard line. They've sent both teams to the sideline. We'll hang on to it right here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
It's not your normal timeout because the officials are huddled up with Steve Jewell over there at the 40 discussing something there. I see no laundry out on the field, so I don't believe there's a penalty. Maybe there was an altercation of some sort that we didn't see, and the officials are just trying to cool things off a bit.
Well, what you really hope is it's not an injection because,
yeah.
I mean, you get ejected in a game like this, you don't deserve to play next week because you're putting yourself in front of your team. Now, I don't know that that's the case, but there's something up.
Well, what's interesting, the official had something out. They were writing something down, almost like a baseball umpire would write a lineup card down or something. And they're still talking to Steve Jewell. Steve doesn't appear to be.
That makes me think there's been an ejection.
Steve doesn't appear to be in total agreement with what's going on.
Yeah, and they've not moved the ball. They've not moved the ball like a penalty, so I'm not sure. I wish we had a field.
Maybe it's a sideline. Maybe it's a sideline warning. But usually they make that signal, though. But with no signal from the officiating crew, Charles Kirk was over there talking to Steve Jewell at length about something. At any rate, Knox Central takes the ball on the interception, 1st down and 10, working from the Corbin 30-yard line. Barger with Gist to his left. May have pulled Corbin off sides again, but he get back. Now they're going to hand it to Gist right side. Hurls attacked at the line of scrimmage into the secondary down to the 25-yard line. Gain of 5 for Jonathan Gist. Really, he's a load, 5'11", 190.
He's a nice-looking kid. He's been a good player there, David, and is a good player. I think for Knox Central here, patience. If I'm Scotty, I want to get to the dressing room with Barger intact. I don't want to take any more chances on him right now to try to win this game in the second half. So, I'm going to load it up with Gist, and if I do throw it, I'm going to tell him, throw it immediately at their feet if they're coming at you. Now, what he does, I don't know, but he needs to get to halftime with that kid healthy.
You got to be careful, too, and not let your ego get the best of you because this is a game that really means absolutely nothing as far as next week is concerned. And off that side, hit and hammered him in the backfield is Gist. He was met about the time he took the handoff, and that was Kai Jackson like a missile coming through the line there, Burley.
Yeah, him and Big Harley Lambert, they smelled that one out pretty nicely. And again, I think that's the adjustment Knox Central has to make at halftime is, hey, we got to do something with this defensive line. And on the other hand, I think if you're Corbin, you got to go in and say, hey guys, we got to run the football. We got to be able to move the ball here, especially on 1st down. We've been 1st and 15 or 20 most of the night. We're not that kind of team right now without
Coach,
Waddle.
This could be a 0-0 game right now, absent that long screen pass.
Absolutely.
3rd down and about 8 for Knox Central, maybe 7. Barger back to throw. He's in the backfield. Hit. Shakes free. Dumps it off right side. Got his man up there. Gist makes the catch, but not much room to go. He's hit and dropped right at the 30. Not back to the original line of scrimmage. It's still going to be a loss of a couple on the play. We'll bring up 4th and 10 for Knox Central. Clock stopped at 3:47.
A lot of heat on Barger again, but he made a great move to get away from Cody Lane. Cody Lane was bearing down on him. He did a little spin move.
We got a holding. I'm sorry, Coach. We got a holding call on Knox Central on that play as well. And that may have been why they didn't get to Barger because I thought they were going to get him. Now, if you're coordinator, do you accept that penalty? No, they're going to decline. Okay.
Well, right now, Corbin's just sending more than Knox Central can block.
That's an interesting call right there. That brings up fourth down and 10, or it could have been third down and 20.
Here's something interesting. Guest on the sideline now with a banged up ankle, looks like.
Wow, that's bad news for Knox Central, I can tell you, because he is a fine player. Fourth down and 10, Knox Central going for it from the Corbin 30-yard line. Barger working out of the gun. Snaps through his legs, ball's loose on the deck. He picks it up, starts off the left side. He's going to try to get rid of it, and does, throws it away, and he is hammered. And I believe that's Dalton Anderson that dropped him that time. That was a big shot, and getting up very slowly is Barger. And that's a tough throw for a right-handed quarterback, Burley, rolling to his left, and you throw that ball, and your whole right side's exposed. And, boy, I tell you, Anderson just buried his helmet right in his left side, or right side.
I don't think Knox Central played that very well. I think you've got to get to the locker room with him intact, and he took some shots on that series. And now you've got your big back ailing as well. And yes.
Well, Anderson got to him, and just after the ball, it was a clean hit, just after the ball left his hands. And really, I thought they were kind of lucky they didn't get a grounding penalty. There was nobody in the area. The Corbin's got it, 3:23 to go, still some time on the clock. Handoff right side, that's going to be Jackson. He's hit and dropped, no gain on the play. And you said it a minute ago, Coach, there's nothing wrong with Knox Central's defense.
They're playing. They're playing.
They're every bit as effective as Corbin right now on the defensive side, except for that one big long screen pass to Brian Nance.
Well, as we go forward for this next half and these 3 minutes and next week, we got to do something with our offense. Go back to the Bell County game. What we were doing early, we had a lot of imagination, using some speed. And Waddle hurts us there, without question. But then again, too, we got to be able to run 46 power. We're not able to run that tonight.
Corbin spreads the field. There are two wide outs to the right, one to the left. Quick pitch to Kopic. He just picks his hole right up the middle of the field. He's got some room. He's into the secondary. 40, breaks the tackle. 45, 50. Going to be hit and cut down out of bounds inside Knox Central territory down to the 48-yard line. Good run that time by Kopic. 20-yard carry for him, and a little extracurricular activity. There is a flag down.
Well, it was. I saw it. It's going to be a silly penalty on Corbin, and we committed the penalty. We're 20 yards behind the ball back here, and oh no, Knox Central.
What they call it? You may have seen the repercussions there.
I saw the retaliation evidently, because what I saw, and they're not very happy with it. I didn't see it that way.
Well, the guy in the yellow shirt down there on Knox Central sideline saw the same way you did.
Yeah, he's a little upset, isn't he?
Well, they're getting after this kid. I won't mention the number, but he's getting away from the coach as quickly as he can, let me tell you. Well, that's a big, big play, because that's going to push Corbin all the way down. That's a 15-yarder added onto the end of the run, which takes it down to the 32-yard line. Big play there. Corbin in business here, 2:25 to go, 1st and 10 at the Knox Central 32, leading 7-0. They motion Taylor out of there. Waddle. Alone back, they snap it directly to Taylor. He starts off the left side. He's got a few blockers out there. He turns the corner. He's got some speed. He's still on his feet. Runs through a tackle inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line. Gain of 14 on the play for Waddle.
That ankle looked pretty good right there.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
That ankle looked very good right there.
Let's don't push it, Coach.
well,
good game, Taylor.
Here's what that does, David. We're trying to beat it up in there, and they've got enough stuff in there to keep us from doing that. What he gives us an option to do is he's going to make them make an adjustment if he stays in there, because we're going to be able to get on the corner a little bit.
He can get to the corner. He spreads them out just a little bit. You're exactly right. Pretty good setup play there. Pitch out right side. This is Kopic again. He's got nowhere to go. Hit and stacked up right at the 20. They have lost a yard on the play. Big Jake.
Yeah, to the naked eye, as a fan, you want to start beating on the offensive line, saying, "Well, we're not, being able to do this or do that." But hey, when they got 7 and you got 5, something bad's going to happen.
It's about as good as you can do, isn't it?
But what Waddle does is he makes them linebackers walk out of there a little bit.
Taylor moves up under center on 2nd down and 10. Quick pitch right side. They tried to get it out to Kopic. He's on the corner. He's got a little bit of a convoy in front of him. Lowers his head, bangs it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Gain of about 9. He's going to be close to the 1st down. Nance leading the way out there. So was Big Engle. I'll tell you what, Burley. Brian Nance is a football player.
He is. He's a throwback, as I like to refer to him. He just, hey, give me my helmet, my pads, and let me go hit somebody.
Well, when he was out early, he's just a junior too. when he was out earlier, we missed that young man. He adds a little bit of an edge to this team, I believe.
Gives us the meanness that we need.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It looks like there's a timeout on the field, so we'll break as well. 3rd down and 1 for Corbin when we return. Hounds lead at 7-0, 56 seconds to go in the half. Corbin's got it on the Knox Central 10-yard line. We'll be right back. Stay with us. 56 seconds to go here in the first half of play. 7-0 at Corbin on top. Dave Cox, Burley Foley with you. It's a good high school football game, Coach. Lots of fun here tonight.
Well, it is, David, and I'll tell you this, another touchdown makes this thing very difficult with Knox Central's injuries.
Taylor moves up under center, working from the 10 on 3rd down and 1. They give it off to Kopic. He didn't get it. He may have lost a half a yard. He's piled up at about the 10.5-yard line. They're going to give him a spot down to the 10, but that's exactly where it was at a minute ago. Officials don't even look. 4th down and about a yard to go for the Hounds here. Clearly, the Redhound's going to go for it. Now this is in Cannonoo's range right here. 35 seconds to go. Corbin's going to at least line up for it. Let's see if they try to pull him off sides. Nope, they hand it off left side. Jackson, he lowers his head, bangs it down inside the 10. He's got the 1st down and more. I don't know that the Packers can stop Jackson from getting a yard.
He meant business, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got a headache after that play, and somebody else does too. 1st down, Corbin. 1st and goal now, working from the looks to be about the 7-yard line of Knox Central. Corbin quickly out of the huddle to the line. Taylor moves under center, spikes it. Stops the clock with 24 seconds to go.
Must not have had a timeout. Looked like we were going to the sideline for a timeout, and then we come back and clock it. So evidently we must have thought we had one we didn't.
I don't recall us calling 3 timeouts.
Unless we call one when we're chewing on the refs over here.
And we may be, could be. We may be saving one for that field goal though, in case we don't get it in.
We could.
Hey, the best non-clock of the century was Matthew Stafford this weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
He learned it from Dan Marino though.
Oh, did he? Did Marino do that too? Yeah. That's way before my time. I'm not old enough to remember Marino.
But Marino threw it.
Yeah, I'm not old enough to remember Marino, but we've got movement on the line, and it looks like there is going to be a timeout taken out this time by Knox Central. They did not like the personnel they had on the field. So with 24 seconds to go, Corbin's on top, 7-0, 2nd down and goal from the 7-yard line for the Redhounds. We'll pause and be back in 30. Stay with us. This is Redhound football on T107. Back at Campbell Field, Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you. 7-0, Corbin on top, 24 seconds to go here in the first half of play. Corbin's got the football, 2nd down and goal from the 7-yard line for the Redhounds. Corbin gathered up over around Coach Steve Jewell, Coach Willard Ferris on the sideline. Now they break out of the timeout, come straight to the line. Taylor takes the snap, rolls to his left. Sets up, fires for the end zone. Got a man out there, diving attempt, and no good, incomplete. That was out of bounds, even if the receiver had come up with it intended for Kopic. So 3rd and 7 now, Burley, 19 seconds to go.
Yeah, well, you're going to get 2 more plays, potentially. 3rd down, that's all you're going to get anyway. But, as long as you're throwing it, you're going to be okay. Corbin came out before that timeout, Dave, and they were in the Wildcat again, and I think that's when Knox Central called the timeout with Waddle and Wildcat. And then what they were going to do, they put Corey Taylor in motion. I really believe they're going to throw the hot pass there. And Scotty, from being here before, has probably seen that, and he said, hey, we better get a timeout.
Well, it was a good timeout because they forced Corbin, I guess, to change their play, and what they did run was not very effective. Here go the Hounds. Taylor with it. Rolls to his right, looking to throw. Chased out of the pocket. Looks like he may want to run. It steps up. He's going to be hit and fires for the end zone. He's got a man. Touchdown. Unbelievable. He's going to the turf. Touchdown. Corbin has Kai Jackson, the back of the end zone. Taylor's going down, Burley. Looked like he was in the grass. Flings it to the end zone. Touchdown, Corbin.
Yeah, what a break right there, David, because that's one it turned out well, but I don't think you throw that pass. But, sometimes it's better to be lucky than be good.
Well,
we were lucky.
I'm going to say his vision was great. He saw Jackson just just floating along the end line of the end zone, and Kai keeps both feet in bounds, pulls it in for the touchdown, and Cannonoo on to attempt the extra point with 10 seconds to go. Snaps a good one. Cannonoo steps into it. This time he drives it through. I'll tell you what, he can kick it. He booms that one through, and Corbin on top 14-0. 10 seconds to go here in the half. We'll just hang on to it right here because the halftime break coming.
Well, I got to tell you, and that's when Corey's best. although, he was going down and threw that thing up, but when he's scrambling, David, he's got a little quickness and can run. I thought he was going to run the football there, to be real honest with you. And I think what he's seen, he had made his mind up to run, and Kai ran a flag pattern, and once he seen Corey in trouble, he broke his route off and went the other way. So great play by both kids. And really, if you're not Central, that one hurts.
That's a Sandlot play, what that is. That's a Sandlot play.
And sometimes that's the way you got to play this game. You just got to go out there and play like you're in the backyard.
You couldn't draw that one up with a stick in the dirt, but that's a great play that time. And I'm going to tell you what, if you get a chance to watch that one on replay, you need to see that one. He was almost parallel to the ground and flipped it almost sidearm underhanded, 15, 20 yards at the back of the end zone. And then Jackson with a nice catch. It wasn't an easy catch either for Kai.
No, it absolutely wasn't. Kai, he's just an athlete. And that, it's good that maybe they'll get Corey going right here because he's had a couple receivers and missed them out there. And now he comes, he makes a great play.
Well, that is a deflating touchdown, though, for Knox Central. As they played an almost perfect first half except for that long screen pass, and they give up the touchdown with 10 seconds to go here in the half.
And Corbin comes back out after the half, leading 14-0. They get the ball.
And get the football. Yeah, that's a good point. Cannonu set to kick it away here. Back deep is Merida, and I believe that's Stewart. Cannonu steps into it, booms this one sideways. Kick is going to be fielded on the short hop by Stewart at the 20. Starts up the left side, breaks the tackle, still on his feet, hit and dropped at the 25-yard line. I said Stewart, actually that is Patrick Dollar, excuse me. So 4 seconds to go here in the half. Knox Central will get one play here before the break. Corbin on top 14-0. Scoring with 10 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, if you're Knox Central, you want to get to the locker room here. You want to assess your health because, this game obviously is important from a pride point of view, but, next week's bigger, and you got Barger, he's without question, David, that kid's hurt. You can tell him. And now, yes, I see he's banged up and he's not in the game. So don't know the extent of those injuries. Should we get those, we'll pass them along to you.
Well, I can tell you, being from southeastern Kentucky, and we'll finish that thought just a second. Handoff left side is going to be Stewart. He tries to get around the left corner, cut down at the line. That will bring to a close the first half of play. Actually, that's the ball carrier. Let me get his name on the radio here so I don't get him shortchanged. Andrew Johnson, the ball carrier. Gain of about 3. That's going to bring to a close the first half of play, 14-0. Corbin on top here at the halftime break. We'll take a timeout, then be back with the Tri-County Sporting Goods halftime show. Talk to Coach Foley about this first half. Get some statistics for you as well. Corbin on top by 2 touchdowns, 14-0 at the break. Stay with us. Absolutely. Here's the kickoff taken by Chadwell. Up back for Corbin. Starts up the left side, runs through a couple tacklers all the way out over the 40 to the 43-yard line. And a first down and 10 there for Corbin as the Hounds start off in good field position here in the second half. Yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop there, Coach. I did not know that.
I should have told you. I'm sorry. I talked with him today, and he's doing better. He's had a little setback, but doing much better and expected for a full recovery on he thinks about Monday, he said.
Well, that sounds exactly like that, like our man. Knox Central with some personnel issues. Finally, they get 11 of them out there. Taylor takes it, leaves it up the middle with Kopic dragging tacklers with him over the 45 out near the 48-yard line. Gain of about 7 for Kopic right up the gut. That's a nice run. Your coach is so much easier. It really opens up your playbook when you play from second and short, second medium and second short. Those second and longs and third and longs kind of narrow what you can do.
I don't care what level you're at, whether you're at the smallest of levels of Little League or to the professional ranks. You can't start first and 15.
Handoff right up the gut. First down and more for Kopic, running very hard between the tackles out to the 45-yard line. Corbin has found something they like right off that left side of the line. And Corbin, as we mentioned earlier, Corbin normally a right-handed team. Both of those runs kind of to the left side of the center.
Looks like a little quick trap in there appears to be what they're doing. I'm going to follow it a little closer here and try to tell. But with this 14-point lead, David, they want to run clocks, what they want to run.
First and 10 now for the Hounds. Same play again, same result. Kopic lowers his head inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line. Good run that time by Jake. And again, let's give some credit, Burley, to that offensive line. They've opened up some nice holes here to start the second half.
They're pushing them off the ball right now. Knox Central's, I think they're going to walk everybody back up in there. They made a little adjustment when Waddle come in the game, and I'm not so sure they went back to that just yet.
Gain of about 6 that time. 2nd down and 4 for Corbin. Opening drive of the second half. Corbin on top 14-0. 10:45 to go in the third quarter. Taylor leaves it off with Kopic. This time he's into the secondary. Lots of running room. Shakes and bakes. Makes another move down to the 25-yard line as before he's cut down there. A good run that time by Kopic, and being led all the way down the field by Big Henson. Zach running stride for stride with the tailback there.
Well, again, Big Zach Ingalls, Zach Henson, Andrew Reedy, Brady Ferris, and Colby Simon opening those holes up there, as well as William Reedy, the tight end. But that time Jake got lathered up pretty good, and it was just a little quick trap inside, and we're getting some yardage out of it.
Well, 1st down and 10. You hate to go away from the well while you're drinking. But they looks like they're going to this time. Hand off to Jackson off right tackle. Not much room, running really hard in there, but he was hit almost immediately at the line of scrimmage. May have lunged forward for a couple of yards. 2nd down and 8 now for Corbin.
You know, Knox Central, if you're a Knox Central fan, you got to look at that first half and go, wow, what happened? You know, our defense played great. We were able to move the ball a little bit on the ground, had an opportunity to score down here, got in the red zone, but, you know, we're down 14-0.
Yeah, it could easily be a 7-7 game right now, but Corbin able to convert on some big plays. Handoff, Kopic, left tackle, cuts it back against the grain into the secondary, still on his feet inside the 15, cut down at about the 14-yard line, gain of about 11 that time, and Corbin just walking the ball down the field right now. And, it's funny because the whole first half, Corbin struggled, with the exception of the one big play, to sustain drives, and here they just walk it right down the field.
Yeah, this is what I kind of expected. Jake's a pretty nice back, David. He's making some good cuts in there. We're blocking pretty well, but I got to tell you, he's making some really nice cuts.
1st and 10 for Corbin from the 14. Kopic's got it again. This time he is hit right at the line and will lunge forward for maybe a yard. I tell you, they're tackling the football that time. A good job by Kopic hanging on to it.
Yeah, you know, this one could be Katie bar the door right here. And, again, I hate with just a couple minutes into the half to go, well, if they score, this could be it. But Knox Central banged up and
Kopic shaking up a little bit too, Burley, holding that arm. They pulled him down from that arm. He got kind of twisted behind him a little bit, and he's not coming out of the game, but he was holding it.
He's had a shoulder problem.
Taylor going to leave it off with Nance right up the middle, running very hard inside the 10, down to about the 8-yard line, gain of about 4 for Brian Nance. I don't know that we have anybody, including Kai Jackson, that gets to the hole as quickly as Brian Nance.
I like the way the kid plays. I really do. He's just hard-nosed, David. Nothing fancy about him. He don't put a lot of extra stuff on his uniform. He goes out and like I said, you know, give me a helmet and some shoulder pads and let me play. And those are the kind of players you just love to watch.
You know, to me, he's a kid that looks like he really appreciates the few times in the game that he gets to handle the ball and makes the most of it. Backs in an eye behind the quarterback. Taylor's second back through is Kopic, running off right tackle, gets it inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line, gain of 5, and Corbin just biting off big chunks of yardage right between the tackles.
We're just knocking them off the ball in there. You know, if you knock Central, you got to be very discouraged because this is the one thing you didn't need to have happen.
You know, how much wind did it take out of their sails that last touchdown before the half?
It did. That one was a dagger.
It kind of looks like a different team right now to me. They're bent over. All of them have their hands on their hips. It just looks to be a tired football team right now. And, you know, momentum in high school and enthusiasm plays such a big part of what's going on. Taylor moves under center, from the 4, handoff left side. That's Nance again. He dives over the pile, gets it down to about the 1-yard line. To bring up, they did actually pick up the first down there.
Been a multiple backs on this. It's been Nance, Kopic, and Kai Jackson on this drive. You know, Waddle not in the game here, but he has carried it and he has played on defense.
If Corbin scores right here, they may take Waddle's helmet from him. He may be done for the night. Taylor moves up under center. Turns, leaves it off second back through. That's Jackson. He slams into the line. I believe he's into the end zone. No signal from the official as of yet. They unpile folks near the goal line, and looks like he's going to be just a touch short. Second down and goal from about the half-yard line for Corbin.
Like Tanner Powers now has checked into the game for Jake.
Or again, that number 44 there, Burley, Hunter McWright. He's in the middle of everything for them. This kid's just a sophomore.
Nice player.
Yeah, he's a really nice player.
Scotty's done a great job over there with his kids. Oh,
quarterback sneak, and Taylor's not going to make it. He lost a yard. He took the snap, and they pushed him back.
I don't know who it was, but now we got whipped up front then because that was nearly a turnover.
It's almost like they knew the play because they just lowered their head and push the Corbin line back into the quarterback, Taylor. He's going to lose about a half a yard on the play, so 3rd down and goal now from about the yard line. Maybe just inside the 1. Clock continues to move. Very fast-moving third quarter of play. 6:30 to go in the third quarter. Corbin on top 14-0. And again, scored with 10 seconds to go in the half on, I don't want to say a broken play, but certainly an improvised play between Taylor and Kai Jackson. That's been the difference in the game thus far. Taylor moves, leaves it off left side with Kai Jackson, slams into the line. He's still fighting forward. He didn't get in.
He didn't get in.
No, he did not get in. This is going to be 4th down and goal, as Knox Central got one more stop in them here.
Wow, what a stand by Knox Central's defense. You know, and again, they've played great all night except for this drive down to the 1-yard line. and now they bowed their neck again.
They're back against the wall here. That time big number 44 is right in the middle of that mess again, Hunter McBride. I'm going to tell you, that kid's a player. 4th down and goal for Corbin from the 1-yard line. Hounds lead at 14-0. 5:44 to go in the third quarter of play. Clock moving. Be down about 5.5 by the time this play goes off. Taylor takes it, leaves the second back through. This time they give it off to Nance. He's hit, and I don't think he made it in.
I don't think he did.
He's cut down. That's Kopic, not Nance. Kopic is cut down short of the goal line. Knox Central holds from 1st and goal at about the half-yard line on 4 consecutive plays.
That's just a great stand by Knox Central's defense. You can look at it any way you want to. What a nice defensive stand.
Well, Burley, if you look at this mathematically, for Knox Central, that makes up for the touchdown they gave up at the end of the half.
Yeah, because they kept. That's right.
Because that's the one the Corbin's supposed to get.
They got one back. You don't like the field position that well, though.
No, you're right. It's a bit of a problem here, and I don't see Gist on the field. Is he in the huddle, Burley?
I didn't see him go out, and I'm looking for him on the sideline.
You know, he looked like he was going to play there in the second half, but yeah, he is on the back of the eye. So it's 1st down and 10 for Knox Central from about the half-yard line for Corbin. Half-yard line. Gist breaks into the secondary. He's got some room. He's at the 15, 20, cut down from behind. Actually over the 15, cut down near the 20-yard line. Boy, he was one shoestring tackle from taking that one 99.5 yards.
Came on a blitz, and we didn't make the tackle.
Wow. Well, they're not in the shadow of their goal line any longer. They're out to about the 17-yard line.
There's a little example of that kid's feet. You know, he's got really nice feet. Big kid with good feet. That makes for a good high school running back.
Well, he's just not gotten loose yet tonight. But, you know, you see that a lot of times when that line of scrimmage is crowded and the runner gets beyond that first wave of tacklers, a lot of times there's some room to roam, and that's what he had right there. They give it off to Stewart straight up the middle. He's got some room, bangs it out over the 20 to the 25-yard line. Gain of about 7 right there, straight up the middle for Stewart.
Well, one thing Steve's teams always do and always will do is they're well-conditioned. His staff, they always believe that, you know, and I thought that was taken over there a little bit, but Knox Central, they got them a little mo going right here.
Well, I think Knox Central came out of the second half still just a little bit down after that late touchdown, but a little bit of a different mindset now for the Panthers. Handoff right side. Gist has got some room running behind that right tackle. Lowers his head, gets it out over the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Another gain of about 6, and that's going to be enough for a Knox Central 1st down. They're going to get a fresh set of downs here. 4:24 to go in the third quarter. Corbin on top 14-0.
Well, you start out on the 1-foot line, David, and you've moved that ball out here. You're back in the game.
Yeah, I don't know that you physically could. If they take it down and score, I don't know that you could physically have a longer drive. The ball was right on the goal line. What about the Bengals getting beat on the safety last night?
I've seen it for years.
That's hard to believe. Barger moves up under center, then backs away, maybe changing his play. 3 backs set in behind him, I should say. Now he's going to call a timeout. He did not like the setup of his personnel from the beginning of that play. So timeout, Knox Central. Corbin on top 14-0. Just a touch under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Stay with us. This is Redhound Football on T107. Corbin on top 14-0. About 4 minutes left to go here in the third quarter of play. Knox Central still gathered up around Scotty Russell, getting some last-minute instructions after the Panther timeout. 1st down and 10 for Knox Central. This drive started on their 1-foot line. Corbin held on 1st down and goal from the 1 on 4 consecutive plays, and Knox Central just a measure of momentum coming out of that defensive stand. Barger moves up under center. 3 backs behind him, 2 tight ends. They leave a first back through is Stewart. No room at all. He's hit and dropped. Ball's loose on the turf. Corbin says they've got it. Officials unpiling bodies. It is Corbin football. Wow.
You know, that is a momentum killer.
You know what?
Well, hold on. Hold everything. Charlie's motion, but Barger's got the ball.
The officials already signaled Corbin football, and they're exchanging teams, so it's going to be Corbin football on the 30-yard line.
Wow, boy, you're talking about a killer for Knox Central. I mean, they really were starting to move the ball. Gist was starting to get lathered up a little bit, if you will, for that term, and then a turnover.
Yeah, you hate to see that, especially after a timeout. That's just it's not like everybody shouldn't have been on the same page. Taylor, it's like he's going for the jugular, throws it down the right side, almost intercepted, incomplete, batted around out there, and that one in the hands of Jeremy Stewart. And it would have been a spectacular catch. He managed to get a hand up and then batted away, but really barely the ball thrown into double coverage there.
He didn't have him. But you got to eat that one.
Second down and 10 now from Corbin from the 30-yard line. Hounds trying to go for the quick hit. You see that happen a lot of times. Teams get the turnover and they'll try to go for the touchdown on the next play. Probably though, it's a good play in 4-down territory here for the Hounds. Second back through is Jackson, dives into the pile, gets it over the 30, out near the 34-yard line. Gain of about 4 for Kai.
Well, what you really wanted to do there was give your defense a little bit of rest, because they earned it down there on that goal line stand.
Clock moving, 3:25 to go in the third. 14-0, Corbin on top. Hounds on the road next week to Henry County. And do not think that is going to be a walk-through game. 6-3 is Henry County, and they've got a pretty impressive schedule. And off left side, flipping into the secondary there, down to about the 25-yard line was Jackson again, I believe. No, that was Kopic, excuse me.
Well, Knox Central's, they're taking their defensive line. They're just kind of cutting their linemen's legs out right there, and it's making a big mass, a pile there, and we're just trying to dive over it, if you will.
Fourth down now for Corbin, and about 7 yards, and not in field goal territory here at all. We saw the Hounds line up for a field goal earlier, and a botched snap and hold did not give Cananoo a chance to kick it through. But I'll tell you, I believe, Burley, he's on a streak of 9 consecutive extra points.
Yeah, what a breath of fresh air that is. Waddle's in the game, Dave.
Waddle is in the game. They're going to motion him out of there. Empty backfield for Taylor now. Takes the snap, looks to throw, sets up, fires down the middle. He's got a man out there. Reedy makes the catch. First down. Corbin fighting forward down near the goal line to about the 2-yard line. Great catch by Reedy. And a good throw from Taylor Burley. Hit him right back shoulder. And Corbin in business again down at the 2.
That was a great read, because what they do is they run Waddle over here. If they don't come with him, he throws it right there, right now. And if they do, then the tight end's going to be open in the seam, and he was able to get that ball to him, to Reedy. And Reedy made a nice catch and even a nice little run after the catch.
Yeah, I thought he was going to back it into the end zone there, and they finally drug him down at about the 3-yard line. So first and goal for Corbin, just inside the 3, actually. Taylor moves up under center, 2 backs behind him, Nance and Kopic. They're going to give it off to Nance, running very hard, lowers his head. He takes it in. Touchdown, Corbin. Nance gets a well-deserved touchdown. That young man's played well tonight. Corbin extends their lead to 20-0.
Good play. That time, Corey right on target. William Reedy made a good play. But again, just having Waddle in the game gives you another dimension that you don't have when he's not in the game. He doesn't have to touch the football for them to do well.
Well, you're right, Buddy. You have to account for him. That's the thing. You have to account for him. And old buddy Sammy Sturgill up here with us in the press box tonight.
Old Redhound himself, buddy.
Yes, let me tell you what, there's not many Redhound fans better than Sammy. And this is a bit of a botched snap that time. The hold was late getting down. Cananoo stepped into it with about a half step, missed it. But that was not the kicker's fault. So I guess I jinxed him with the 9 in a row comment. But at any rate, Corbin up 20-0, minute 56 to go in the third. We'll step aside, then be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. This is Redhound Football on T107. Minute 56 to go in the third. Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you. 20-0. Corbin on top here. 2-yard touchdown run from Brian Nance. Got the Hounds out to the lead. Now, and put the announcer's jinx on Tulio Cananoo. He hit 9 in a row, and was going to get a chance at a pretty good field goal there in the first half, a 34-yard or 33-yard or whatever it was, and didn't get to kick it because of a bad snap, and then had a bit of a problem with the extra point snap as well. It's a good kickoff this time. Drives Stewart back in, or excuse me, Dollar back inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Good coverage by Corbin as Dollar's going to be tracked down at about the 20-yard line, and that's where Knox Central will take over first down and 10. You know, I'll tell you, Coach, if you look at it, Knox Central has not started outside of their 20 very often on kickoffs tonight.
No, field position's been a problem for them. You know, if you're Corbin, David, this second half, you come out and put together some offensive plays. Had a nice drive there. Kopic leading the way. Brian Nance doing a lot of the dirty work, if you will. A great catch and throw from Corey Taylor to William Reedy. So really, you know, some positive, good momentum builders right here for Corbin to get back in that groove because they were dangerous offensively early.
You know, it's a little bit of they got a penalty that we did not see, and they're marking it off against Corbin. I think it was a little bit of a extracurricular activity, if you will, personal foul while the ball carrier was out. I saw them trying to reach in and take the football from him after the play was already over. But at any rate, if you're Corbin, you're kind of a catch-22. You don't want to show too much right here in this game because you know the way films are. But by the same token, you do want to win the football game. Minute 50 to go. Barger moves under center, leaves it off with Gist. Gist runs into his own man, then reverses his field and is cut down at the line of scrimmage. Kai Jackson there again.
Well, he's a warrior, Kai Jackson is. I'm telling you, he's a warrior.
I'm telling you,
he's a warrior.
He's a hard cat to guard. I can tell you that.
Just you know, you love him as a kid and a player, but I just don't know if that body can hold up playing like that all the time. But it has.
He gets up just a little bit shaky that time. He's holding his shoulder, but I don't believe you could get him out of there if you wanted to. Second down and 9. Barger moves up under center. 3 backs again behind him. They give it to Gist one more time. Off right tackle, lowers his head, spins free. Nice gainer, gets over the 40 out to near the 43-yard line. Gain of about 6 that time for Jonathan Gist. He's listed at 5'11", 190, and that's probably pretty accurate. He's a good-looking football player.
Yeah, he's not had a lot of room to run in there tonight, David. You know, we're just a little bit quicker up there, and I got to tell you, when I say we're bringing everybody, we're bringing them all.
You know, I can see when they had the good Kennedy kid in the backfield along with Gist.
Yeah,
that's a pretty potent
nice,
1-2.
It's a nice high school backfield.
Yeah, pretty potent 1-2 punch there. Third down and a long 4 for Knox Central. Back to throws. Barger fires across the middle, incomplete. Underthrown, intended for Jeffrey Adams out near the 50-yard line. Once again, Jackson introduces himself to Barger.
I know what kind of athlete that Barger kid is, and David, his throwing motion just tells you there's something not right. It could be he can't sit his feet and put weight on that knee. It could be his shoulder. I don't know, but I know he throws the ball better than that.
Well, he's a kid that we watched play basketball for a long time, and we don't get to see Knox Central play football because we're at the Corbin games, quite frankly. But now in basketball, we've seen him play a number of games against Corbin, and he's a load. Let me tell you, he's a fine athlete. And I believe he's just a junior, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking at my, he is just a junior. 4th down to 5. Knox Central set to kick it away. Hall's kick is a nice one. Takes a Knox Central bounce. Going to be fielded on the one hop by, and there's a flag that comes down way away from the play. It looks like Corbin, number 14 there. Is that McCarg or Chadwell? McCarg gets tangled up over here with number 12 from Knox Central. That is Merida.
I think they're going to call an illegal block because I don't think you can't cut them on a punt. I think that's what's going to be the call, but I can't say for sure.
Well, Kopic cut down at the 25-yard line, so Corbin will take over 1st and 10 there if the penalty's not against the Redhounds. Not been a lot of penalties tonight, but the ones that we've had have been kind of confusing. Kind of unique penalties.
Nope, face mask.
Okay, they're saying that they call on both offsetting penalties, brother. They call on both guys. I guess they were chicken fighting a little bit there.
Yeah, a little chicken fight going on.
Well, I tell you, if you were going to get into it on the football field, it'd be hard not to grab that face mask. That'd be almost an automatic. 23 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Corbin on top, 20-0. Redhound football, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line of the Redhounds. Kai Jackson and A.J. Moore split wide to the right side. They're kind of in tandem over there. Nance and Kopic in the backfield. They hand it to Kopic straight up the gut, and he's going to lower his head, pushes the pile to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple to bring up 2nd down and 8, and that is probably going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter. It's probably, my guess is both of these teams wouldn't mind stopping this game right now.
I don't understand why the clock stopped right now, do you?
No, I don't. I was watching it there, and
we got a personal foul. Knox Central.
Well, that's why it stopped, because there were flags down that we didn't see on that far side.
I saw a little rustling around in the
I think
pile there.
Excuse me. I think these coaches, didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I think these referees, I should say, are very cognizant of the fact that Corbin and Knox Central have a heated history, and on the sports front, that is. And so they're going to be really quick to call these kind of penalties. And you made a really good point earlier. You got to be careful now, because any kind of activity could get you dumped out of this game. You're going to miss that first playoff game.
You don't want that to happen to either team.
No, absolutely not. First and 10 for Corbin. Now they wind the clock, and that will, I believe, bring to a close the third quarter. So with 3 in the books, Corbin on top 20-0. We're going to step aside, get a little sponsor time in. Then we'll be back for the fourth and final period of play in tonight's game. Hounds on top of Knox Central 20-0. We will be right back. Back at Campbell Field, 20-0. Corbin on top, getting ready to start the fourth quarter play. I've still got my Diet Mountain Dew here, Coach, that Les Dixon bought me up there at the Dairy Mart up there. He's said he's working on his football edition tonight. He said, "I'm glad you guys are going to be on the radio." I said, "I'll have it on listening to you, because he said some of us have to work." And I said, "Well, that's pretty tough duty working on a Friday night."
Hey, tell Les I like Mountain Dew too.
Yeah. Les bought my soft drink, and I said, "Well, that's okay, Les. I'm getting ready to go get it." I said, "I'm going to get me a little cake too." He goes, I got your drink." Yeah, he is a good guy. Does a good job with his columns and his sports in the area as well. Here's a handoff right side to Kopic. He bangs it all the way out to the 50-yard line. Nice gainer on the play there by Kopic. I tell you one thing about Kopic. It doesn't matter what the score is or what the down and distance is. He runs equally as hard on every play.
He's a hard runner, but I want to tell you, in this game tonight, what I've seen is Brian Nance has done a nice job up there blocking. He had a great block in there. Just really a nice player.
Nance is on the front of that eye once again, leading the way for Kopic off the right side. Jake takes it, lowers his head, and picks up probably nearly enough for the first down. And now we got, it looks like this game's starting to get just a little chippy here. And I think the coaches would be well served here to take a timeout and just talk to their players about the ejection rule.
Well, it's always been my opinion, if you get ejected at this point in the game, you're putting yourself a little bit ahead of your teammates because they need you next week. Now, that's easy to sit here and say.
Yeah.
But somebody's grabbing you or pinching you, and I don't know what's going on down there. And quite frankly, it's football. A lot of stuff goes on down there. But you got to retain yourself from that. Reframe yourself.
So a nice play that time by, I won't mention the Corbin player, but Nance went in and got him out of the pile there as he was getting a little upset. Taylor winds up, fires long down the middle of the field. He's overthrown everybody. He had Reedy a couple steps behind the defense, but we've got a flag down. I think they may have hit Taylor late. And like we said earlier, it is a personal foul against roughing the passer against Knox Central. And we said it earlier, these guys are going to keep this game close. These officials will not let it get out of hand.
Well, they won't, and that was the right call. But I know if you're a Knox Central fan, and I'm trying to be, they're going to go, "Hey, boy, you've been beating up on my number 2 a little bit here, through the night."
Oh yeah.
And I don't know that I don't disagree.
Well, you're right. He's taken some shots equal to that one. You're exactly right. But I think with the play prior to that, with 2 guys about ready to square off, it certainly raised their awareness a little bit of what's about to happen if they don't take care of things. Now, we watch Charlie call an awful lot of sports, Burley, and love Charlie, don't love Charlie, wherever it may be. He takes care of ball games. They do not get out of control for the most part. That's one thing Charlie does a great job of. And here's a fumbled snap by Taylor, and he falls back on it at about the 34. That's a couple times that Corbin has done that tonight.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I know one thing that Coach Ferris and Coach Jewell and that staff over there represent. They don't go for no foolishness.
No.
It's not okay, and they won't tolerate it, whether it's foolishness or what happens. They teach you how to play the right way and the right way to act.
And I don't think Scotty Russell does.
No, he doesn't. But I mean, kids are kids.
Yeah, handoff right side. Nance again running very hard off right tackle. Nice gainer on the play. Gets it down inside the 30 to about the 29.
Yeah, you pointed out something there. I know Scotty personally, and I know what he stands for, and it's not what he stands for either. And but again,
Kids are kids.
When you're 15 miles apart, and the internet and all the stuff, comes along with the internet.
That's right.
You know how that stuff goes, but again, I definitely know Steve. I've been part of that staff. That's not something that he allows.
It's a great time of the year, though, to be on a staff, isn't it? You see a team coming together when you got a pretty good team, and you know you're coming into the playoffs with a chance to win this thing. It's really exciting. There's another flag that comes down on top of the pile, handoff right up the middle to Jackson. That one thrown from the back, judge more than likely a hold, he would think.
I think it's going to be a hold.
Based on where it was thrown.
Getting a little bit sloppy now. Been a very well-played game. And let me tell you this. It's 20-0. It's not been a 20-0 ball game, in my opinion.
No.
I really think not. I think Corbin's been a better team, obviously. But a play here, or again, you go back to the one bad punt there to start the game and the screen pass, and then Knox Central's defense at times has been spectacular. And then they've given up a play here and there.
Well, Corbin, quite frankly, got a touchdown that they may not should have gotten near the end of the first half.
They did.
A bit of a fluke play. But then they didn't get one that you think they should have got from first and goal at the one. So, it's a
wash.
It's been that those two plays were a bit of a wash. But the first touchdown, had it not been for a screen pass to Nance for 57 yards, Corbin set to punt that thing away on 3rd and long.
Without question.
And that, to me, that flipped the whole script right there as far as the field position was concerned.
Yeah, Knox Central's never been able to overcome that.
No. 8:55 to go here. Low snap. Taylor Fields it looks to throw, fires it long down the left side. He's overthrown everybody. That may have been a bad pattern, or maybe
he would have overthrown Megatron then.
Yeah, I don't think Des Bryant's going to challenge Megatron again. Do you?
No, I love what Tom Jackson said. He talked about him ranting on the sideline.
Yeah.
He said, "Listen," he said, "I was a linebacker in the NFL and a pretty good one. I think people that played against me would tell you that." But he said, "I wasn't better than Lawrence Taylor." And he said, "And he's not better than Megatron." And he said, "That's what that was about."
That's right. Yeah.
And he nailed it too. That's exactly right.
It had nothing to do with the score or losing the game.
That's what it is.
The only thing that Dez had left was that they were going to win that game. then he didn't get to brag about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Corbin's set to punt it away here on 4th down and about 20. Taylor steps into it. No hesitation this time. He sometimes acts like he's going to run with it. That time he just goes ahead and punts it away. Fielded by Knox Central and chased out of bounds over there is, I believe that's Stewart. We got flags down everywhere. And again, this game is really, really getting chippy.
It's getting a little chippy, and I saw what happened there. One of the Knox Central kids grabbed Kopic and threw him down, and we had another player come and retaliate, and that's who the penalty was on. Corbin's got to probably start thinking about getting some of their mainline guys over on the sideline.
That's well and good, and I think it's a great thought. But you're still just a 3-score game.
It is, but and again, to me, that's one of the toughest things in coaching is you want your kids to be mean and aggressive and physical, but there's a line there, and how do you coach that line? I don't have the answer for that, and if I did, I'd still be coaching probably, but that's a tough call for anybody that's associated with this sport, because you go out there and you use the words like knock their head off and this and that, and then it gets that way, and you got to go, wait, son, what are you doing here?
Yeah. This is a game that's played at an extremely high rate of speed, and it's not a contact sport; it's a collision sport.
It is.
And what really happens is at times like this, you want your kids to pull back just a bit. We're obviously going to hang on to it here during this break. There looks to be a timeout on the field. Knox Central's still on the field. All of the Redhounds gathered around Steve Jewell over there, and look like that's going to be a
offsetting penalty.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I think the officials are doing a good job keeping this thing under control, because just a little bit here, a little bit there, this thing could get just a little squirrely.
Well, I don't think Charlie Kirk is in the regular rotation of officials anymore. I think he just kind of subs in with the crew when they need somebody. And I do believe that he was picked for this game specifically because they knew probably with this rivalry between these two schools, there was the opportunity for it to get out of hand. And that's one thing. That's one thing I'm certain about Charlie. I've watched him call for many, many years. He will keep a game under control. And that's, I think, where we're at right now. He's that with this last 8:41 may take 8 hours and 41 minutes, but they won't get out of hand. And if they do, he'll start pitching them pretty soon.
Well, I know what both coaches are saying. They're going, guys, I want to get back to coaching football here. I don't want to be refereeing.
I'm tired of babysitting.
Yeah. Let's play football. And you know, let's play it the right way. And don't let us paint a picture here that's not. It's not really been that bad, but just a little bit here and a little bit there.
Yeah. And all of it in this quarter. Really nothing up until this quarter.
Oh, absolutely.
Corbin on top, 20-0, 8:41 to go. Looks like we're just about ready to get back to action here as they got both teams back out on the field, and the officials are still talking things over.
Corbin still with their starters in there, and that's O'Neal and McCarg at the corners. Waddle to free safety. Dylan Adams, the strong safety. The ends are Cody Lane and Dalton Anderson. The tackles are Harley Lambert and Jesse Lyford.
Barger still in at quarterback for Knox Central. Takes the low snap. Looks to throw. Here comes the rush. Dumps it out. Incomplete. Trying to get it off to Gist on a little screen pass. But, you know, again, that you want the rush. You invite the rush, actually, on the screen pass, partly. But it's just getting there so quick. They're just blowing the play up before it even has a chance to even get set up at all.
Well, I said this from day one about Corbin's football team this year. I really think the thing that makes them what they are is they have some overall quickness. They're quick down in that defensive line. I mean, they're a little bit undersized. They got some quickness down in there.
Well, you know, we saw it from the very get-go this year. You're exactly right. Early in the season, this defensive line was the one thing that stood out to me as being much, much, much improved. Here's a toss across the middle, incomplete. Had a man open out there, and that was number 8, Tanner Wells, from his tight end position. But again, just no time for Barger to set his feet. He just had to get rid of it to keep from eating it, and threw behind the receiver. Clock stopped at 8:34 to go now in the ball game. Corbin on top, 20-0.
Yeah, he had him wide open too. But you got to maybe get you a little air on that thing. But I don't think he can get his arm up, David. I really don't. I think it's been a gutty performance by the kid, to be real frank with you. He's hung in there. He's took some shots tonight.
I'm going to bet you this: if it wasn't Corbin, he wouldn't be playing tonight.
I wouldn't think so.
Not with the playoffs coming up next week, and this is a pretty good football team. A chance to make some noise in the playoffs, I should say. Barger's got it, rolling to his right. Kai Jackson's after him, dumps it underneath, and then Jackson unloads on him.
Knox Central wanting to rough in the passer there, but let me tell you, one thing that makes that call a little harder to call with Barger is he's being mobile. He's really kind of being attempted to run, whereas the one on Corey, he was sitting in the pocket. And there's a little bit of difference there. And again, I know from Knox Central's perspective, they're probably going, I don't know about that. But I think that's why it hadn't been called.
Well, in that time, again, when you're chasing somebody and both people are moving, I think is what you're saying, you've got momentum. You can't stop. You know, and a stationary target's a little different.
That's right.
Knox Central set to kick it away. Hall will boot it away. High snap is over his head. Ball rolling into the end zone. Hall picks it up. He's going to get it away. Steps into it and does get a kick free. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, and that's where Corbin will take over, 1st and 10 at the 32. So a good job by the punter getting something away, and that's Jared Hall really almost avoiding disaster there as he kicked that one from the goal line.
He did a good job because, let me tell you, 99 out of 100 kids run that thing there. And he realized that he could go ahead and get the fun off and salvage a bad play into something.
It's going to be 1st and 10 for Corbin from the 33. Clock stopped right now. 8:18 to go in the football game. 20-0 Corbin on top. Hounds with their first team offense back out on the field. Kopic in the slot to the left. Nance, the lone setback. They send Kopic in motion at the far side of the field. Taylor looks to throw, sets up, fires long down the middle of the field. Incomplete. Overthrown again. Intended for A.J. Moore. Looked like Moore may have broken the pattern off out there, and Taylor overthrew him.
There was definitely two kids not on the same page right there.
The one thing about that, if you're Corbin, that is a bit questioning, is that stops the clock. These incomplete passes stop the clock. You're with 3-touchdown lead here.
I think the reasoning on that is, hey, they're going to put everybody up in there and think we're going to run. We might get a cheap one right here. Is I think what they're thinking on that. And to be real honest with you, a little better pass there we might have.
No, again, you can't quit playing. That's exactly right. Corbin with the football, left hash mark. Take it down in 10. Handoff, Kopic up the middle. He's into the secondary. He may go. He's at the 20, 10. Touchdown, Corbin. Kopic turns on the afterburners. Hounds score again. 33-yard run, Kopic between tackles. And that's a little trap play, Burley, you talked about earlier. And he didn't get touched.
He's a nice runner, David. What makes Jake good is he's quick enough, obviously, but he runs pretty hard down in there. Makes him a total back. You know, some backs are either fast and they can get outside, or some are strong and can run inside. Jake's got a little bit of both.
He's got really good instincts too. He's one of these guys that begins his cut just before the tackler gets there. Cannonu in. Let's see if he can get back on track. Here's the snap. Kick on the way. Looks good, and it is. Corbin on top, 27-0. 8:06 to go here in the football game. We'll take a break, then be back. Stay with us. This is Redhound football on T107. Back at Campbell Field, Corbin on top, 27-0. Brody, the 7th grade Redhounds are going to be on the road tomorrow in Lexington, playing at Lexington Catholic. I think they play Elkhorn City maybe in the state semifinals as the young Redhounds, 7th grade variety, getting ready to go up to the state tournament. Now, your brother, Wendell Foley, is taking the young Redhounds, the 7th graders, up to the state semifinals tomorrow. Here's a long kick fielded by Stewart back at, that's Merritt, gets it out to the 25-yard line before he's cut down there. But evidently a pretty good group of 7th grade Redhounds as well.
Yeah, they are. They play tomorrow, and they play Elkhorn, I think, at 1 o'clock at Lexington Catholic. And then should they win that game, they'll be in the finals on Sunday. But, great program down there with Wendell and what Brent Jackson do and their whole staff, Jared Martin, Chance Hendrickson, and Mark Payne. And, I go, but what's nice about that staff that they have there, Tim Masseville, Sam Miller, those guys all played here, and they do this for nothing.
It means something to them.
It does. It really does.
And I have to believe that what has happened with the TCA program, I believe that's what it is. I may have the acronym wrong, but the Little League program, handoff up the middle, and Gist is wrapped up short of the line of scrimmage by about a yard or two. 2nd down and 11 now for Knox Central. But with getting all these kids out in the Little League program, and is the TCSA? I'm not sure.
Yes, Tri-County Sports Authority.
Yeah, they've really done a good job too. I go by up there on my way home many nights. They're out there playing, and there's a ton of kids playing.
About 70 kids in the middle school right now playing football, David. So I think it's a direct result of that. Good boy, Big Harley Lambert made a nice play for a defensive lineman there. Dave, this kid, he stays healthy. He's got some stuff now.
He's a handful.
I mean, he's got some stuff. He's long in there, but he's got some strength.
He does remind me of the Grigsby kid from a couple of years back.
He's quick.
And this kid's just a sophomore.
I like the way he plays. I've said that from day one. Didn't really know him. He wasn't here when I was coaching, and I don't think he came up in our program either. But yeah, he looks to be about 6'2", maybe 6'3", and like I say, he's long, he's quick, and he's got some strength to go with it. But Harley Lambert, keep your ear open for that kid. I think he's going to be a pretty good player.
We've got him listed, I should say, at 6'3", 235. Good size kid. Here's a handoff right side. Stewart's got some room, bangs it out all the way near the 30-yard line. Good run that time. Not enough for the first down. I said Stewart, excuse me. Let me check that number. That is going to be Andrew Johnson. Good run that time by Andrew. Gives Knox Central a manageable down and distance here, 3rd down and about 5 for the Panthers.
Bardsville still hanging in there at quarterback, Dave, and again, gutty performance by that kid. Came into the game with some type of injury, and you can visibly see he's not himself, but he stayed out there and took everything Corbin's had to offer.
Kevin Mendel in the game now, number 52. He's been getting more and more playing time as this season goes on. Here's moving on the line before this play gets started.
Also in the game is Middleton, Chris Middleton. He's a senior. He plays on the special teams. And again, we'll try to check any substitutes that come in the game. J.B. Chadwell's in the game. J.B.'s had some plays on special teams. Plays a lot on special teams for Corbin. But that defensive line is still the same up there with the exception of Mendel. He's in for Cody Lane.
Corbin on top, 27-0. 6:05 to go here in the football game. Archer takes it, leaves it off straight up the middle, no room whatsoever. I believe that may have been Johnson again. Actually, I take that back. That's number 20, Jared Hall.
Jesse Lyford in on that stop too, David. He's another one of those long, lean. That defensive line doesn't look like defensive lines that we've had here in the past. A lot of our bigger kids have played down in there, but they're quick.
Coach, they remind me of a Bell County kind of defensive line. The team, the kind of linemen that Bell County have had in the past, long and lean, and they used to amaze me. I'd look at the Bell County teams and I would say, we're going to just overpower these guys all over the field. It never happened that way. All set to punt it away, steps into it, and it is a high, tight spiral. Fair catch called for by Copic, fumbles it, but falls right back on it at the 42-yard line. I said fair catch. Actually, I think that he was maybe trying to hold the lights out of his eyes, but Copic, a good job of getting back on the muffed punt. First and 10 for Corbin from their own 43.
Yeah, you got to let that one go. You got to let that one go. In a game like here that's already decided, you got playoffs next week, get away from that one, Jake. Let's live for another day.
Corbin on top, 27-0. Hounds on their way to finishing the regular season at 8-2. Lost to Wayne County, lost to Bell County. 2 district losses makes Corbin number 3 in the district seedings. They'll be on the road at number 2, Henry County, next week.
Pack your lunch if you're going to Henry County.
Yeah, maybe one of those Thursday night specials. You go up on Thursday night. Pitch out right side, Copic trying to get around the corners, hemmed in, changes direction, gets it back against the grains. He's got some room. He's into the secondary, breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet. They pull him down by his. No, they don't. He breaks free, rumbles all the way down to the 25-yard line. I thought he was tackled 3 times during that drive, or during that run, rather. And then we got flags coming down from everywhere.
Yeah, Jake just got a personal foul. A fantastic run. And then at the end of it, gets a personal foul.
Well,
I think you go ahead and put him on the shelf for this game.
I didn't see it. I have to say, I was watching. I'll tell you what I saw on the, and it must have been a verbal remark because there was no contact. But,
it was.
Okay, but I saw Kai Jackson light somebody up on that run and then reach down and helped him back up, and the 2 guys patted each other on the helmet. I was just about to say, good sportsmanship there. Good sportsmanship there by those 2 young men. And then I see the flags coming down on top of the runner.
Yeah, and again, I alluded to it earlier. Football is it's a funny game to coach. I mean, you ask your kids to play angry, and and that's when you get the better results. But wow, where do you stop it?
It's tough. I think you're willing to live with a few of those every now and then for the way a kid like Coffee plays, to be quite honest.
He's a good football player.
And off right side, this is Jackson trying to get around the corner. He is cut down hard, and after a short gain on the play. And, again, good sportsmanship there as the kid makes a hard tackle on Kai Jackson. They pat each other on the helmet as they get up.
There's no question Jake Kopic's a nice running back.
Yeah, just a junior. Coach, this overall, we saw the seniors tonight. This senior night. We'll run through that list of seniors before we sign off tonight. But this is relatively a young football team.
They are. They are.
And they've got some good young kids that will grow up some over the summer that should move in and help this team as well. I'm going to lose some really good players. But, again, this season far from over, but lots of bright spots down the road here for Corbin. Here's a handoff to Nance right up the middle. He gets it all the way down inside the 20, taking tacklers with him. Nance has had a nice football game.
He's a tough player, and we've talked about him a lot tonight. And again, I want to go back to the offensive line, though. Early on, it didn't look like we were going to be able to move the ball. Big Zach Ingalls, Zach Henson, Andrew Reedy, Brady Ferris, and Colby Simon, along with William Reedy, who made a fantastic catch down here. They've knocked them off football in the second half. They really have.
Well, you made a good point, Coach. I think the conditioning has came into play here. Corbin looks to be a much fresher football team right now, and momentum will do that for you. Taylor back to throw again, sets up this time, fires for the end zone. It's into a group of folks, incomplete. Threw that one into a crowd, batted away back there. Good defensive play by, I think that's number 30 back there for Knox, or 31 maybe. That's Adams. I can't tell. Intended for Jackson. You know what Corbin has went away from a little bit that I would love to see him, and again, maybe they're holding their cards or playing their cards very close to the vest here in this game, but I really think Corbin's pretty effective when they go into that short passing game. The screens and the slants and those kind of things, they've seemed like they've been able to really move the football when they did that. Looks like Hounds are subbing down right now, Coach.
No, we're going to kick the field goal.
There you go. I wasn't expecting that, but you're right now. And what's interesting is Waddle will be the holder this time. He's been the holder all year long, so Cananu, this is going to be a 37-yard attempt here. And he's got the leg for it, Burley.
Oh, there's no question.
He just has to hit it solid, not try to kick it too far here. Snap is down. Kick on the way. It's low and is going to be, just a touch short. It was in between the uprights, just about hit the crossbar, as a matter of fact. But good attempt that time by Canadu from 37 yards. Just a bit short. Corbin gives the ball back to Knox Central. 3:31 to go, leading 27-0. And you can say what you want to, but I think it's important to this Corbin defense. They're going to want to preserve this shutout.
Oh, I think so. Well, you see them coming back with their starting lineup out there. But here's another good thing.
That was my first clue.
Another good thing that's happened for the Redhounds tonight is they're going to leave this game without using Waddle very much. I think maybe involved in 2 offensive plays, and he started on defense, but very quickly he came out. Gives him another week to heal, and, nothing went wrong with that tonight.
Handoff left side. This is Johnson trying to get around the corner. He's going to turn the corner at about the 25, gets out to the 27, maybe gain of about 7 yards that time by Andrew Johnson.
Powers on the stop. Also looks like Adams in on the stop with him.
I know the shutout's going to look good on paper, but I have to tell you, I'd get all 11 of them off the field right now.
If I was Scotty Russell, my biggest concern going in next week is my health. I just don't think Knox Central's very healthy right now.
Well, they're beat up. They play a tough schedule. That 4A football is tough, and you can't get away from it. Every week you're playing somebody who can really play. I think if I'm both of these coaches, I empty the benches right now. Here's a handoff right side. Running very hard in there is number 28. That is Jeremy Stewart. If I'm reading this right, Stewart is listed, Burley, as a 5'9", 170-pound freshman. Good runner. He's had a couple nice runs tonight. Stewart's a starter for him as a freshman on a good football team is pretty impressive.
Well, Coach Russell's got a young team. There's no question about that, and he's done a good job over there. He stepped up and really just carried on the tradition that Wayne Mills had started. And Knox Central over the years has always been physical. I mean, I played in a few of those games. They hit you. They don't care to hit you.
Matthew Smith, the ball carrier, straight up the gut, picks up about 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 now for Knox Central. Clock will be under 2 minutes to go in the game by the time this next play goes off. Corbin on top 27-0, and you just kind of hold your breath here collectively until this thing's over with, because you got your starters basically still out on the field, and you don't want to see anybody twist an ankle or anything right now for either one of these teams. Barger rolling to his right, being chased by Jackson, gets rid of it and throws it incomplete. There's a flag down, and that's a good call. Roughing the passer that time, and Barger took a tough shot. I shouldn't say I forget. I will not mention the number for Corbin, but that was not a smart play. Barger let the ball go, taking 2 steps, then got shoved to the turf.
Yep. Hey, I can't tell you how many times he's been hit tonight. I mean, they've got after him.
Yeah, and that was a late hit. That's a good call by the official. And it's one of those things, Coach. You mentioned earlier, you're going 110 miles an hour trying to get to the quarterback, and they just barely get rid of it. Yeah. Sometimes your emotions get the better of you. You say, I've chased this guy all night long. I'm going to hit him at least once.
My hat's off to Steve and his staff, David. They, come in, like I say, with a disappointing loss to Bell County game. Most every Redhound fan thought they would win, but again, Bell County's Bell County, and they come back right here and play pretty good football. Played physical tonight.
And off left side, this is Johnson again trying to get around the corner. Does catch a block. He's not going to make it to the sideline, though, as he's finally tracked down at the 50, which is about the line of scrimmage. He ran a long way, just did not pick up any yardage. A lot of east and west right there. I'd like to remind everybody, stay tuned after the game. We'll share our Froyo players of the game. Got an offensive player and a defensive player from the Corbin squad. And the way that deal works is this. You go up to Froyo's tomorrow. Either want to tell one of the young ladies working up there that you heard it on the radio, and name either one of the offensive or defensive players of the game, and you get your first 4 ounces for free. Good folks up there at Froyo, and we appreciate them sponsoring our players of the game. Handoff up the middle, and that's a big hit that time as carrying it for Knox Central's number 20, Jared Hall. He gets pounded after a gain of about 3.
Hey, this has been a physical football game.
I'm seeing a lot of good sportsmanship though on the field right now, Brody. The last 3 or 4 plays are helping one another back up.
Absolutely.
At that time, Powers was a kid that made the big hit, and he was helped up by one of Knox Central's linemen. Helped up. That's you really like to see that.
Well, as Knox Central goes in the playoffs, that's who we pull for. You know, we want to see the local teams win.
Well, handoff straight up the middle. Lots of running room straight up the gut. Matthew Smith, number 45, bangs it all the way down to the Corbin 30. Just 27 seconds to go. Knox Central is going to have to hurry to get a couple more plays off. Yeah, you're right. You know, we pull for all the Tri-County teams along with Corbin when it gets into the playoffs. I'd love to see Knox Central make a deep run into the tournament. And they could.
They could. They're going to have to get healthy.
Matthew Smith again, the big fullback, bangs it right into the line. This time Corbin having none of that. Mendel in there. Lambert also in there. 14 seconds to go, and I quite frankly hope they don't run another play. I don't want to see anybody get shaken up. This game is over and has been for a while. 27-0. Corbin's going to win it here. Knox Central elects to let the clock run out, and 6-4 on the year for Knox Central. They'll finish their regular season. Corbin extends their record to 8-2 on the season. Both these teams make their way into the Kentucky High School Athletic Association playoffs next week.